नॉट कनेक्टेड आ रहा है, HDMI 2 है ना? Hello everyone, welcome back to the new session. So today we are going to start with the 6th lecture of straight lines. So let's first do one thing. Let's first revise what we have done in the last class. Okay. So in the last class, right, we started with straight lines, and straight lines, first of all, what is the first thing that we did? Okay. So the first thing we did was to understand the concept of slope and intercept. Right, understand the concept of slope and intercept. So this is the first thing that we did yesterday. Okay, so let's understand what slope and intercept are once again, and then we'll move forward. So first of all, how do you calculate slope? So to calculate slope, first of all, right, we took a straight line. So let's suppose if we have a straight line like this, okay, we have a straight line like this, then what is the first thing I told you? The first thing that you have to do is find the point, right, find the point where it cuts the x-axis. So I have to find the point where the straight line cuts the x-axis, then extend this line onto the positive x-axis, along the positive x-axis, and from this point, right, from this point I have to move in an anti-clockwise direction till I reach the point, till I reach the straight line. So this is the angle theta, right, and slope was equal to tan theta. Slope is equal to tan theta. Okay, so this is what we have done in the last class, right, regarding the slope. And then what about the intercept, right? What about the intercept? So which intercept I am talking about? I am talking about y-intercept, right? The intercept which we are talking about is y-intercept. And what is the value of y-intercept? The value of the y-intercept is the distance between the origin and the place. This is the origin and the place where it cuts the y-axis. Okay, so this was my y-intercept, and that was equal to c, right? So these are the two main things that we did yesterday, right? So why did we do this? Because we wanted to write the equation of straight line, right? So first of all, general equation of straight line, right? Equation of a straight line. So what is the general equation of straight line? Y is equal to mx plus c. Y equals to mx plus c. What is this? This is y-intercept. Sorry, this is not y-intercept. This is the y-coordinate. Right, this was my x coordinate, right? What was this? M is equal to slope, and what is c? C is basically my y-intercept. Correct? So this was my general equation of a straight line. Okay, the first part, that is the general equation of my straight line. Now, next, so what was the next thing? The second equation was point intercept form, right? Point slope form. Point slope form that we did yesterday. What was the point slope form? The point slope form, right, talks about a point. And what was the point? This point lies on straight line. This point lies on the straight line. And that point P is equal to x1 comma y1 and slope, right? Next was slope. So M is the slope of this straight line. So with that, what was the equation of the straight line? The equation of the straight line was y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1, right? So this is what we did in the last class regarding our slope. Okay, so now two things we did yesterday, no? So two equations, sorry. So first is the equation of a straight line, right? That is a general equation of a straight line. That was y equals to mx plus c. And what is this called? This is known as slope intercept form, right? Slope intercept form, right? This was the first type of the straight line that we did yesterday, and the second was the point slope form, right? So we did two types of equations today. Now today we will move on to the next part. What is that? That is 2-point form, right? So as the name suggests, it is given 2-point form. So what do you understand by 2-point form? So when I say 2-point form, 2 points will be given, okay? And what are the 2 points? Those 2 points lie on the straight line. Okay, so let's talk about the 2 points. So let's say if x1, okay, so x1 y1, okay, let's say this is some point P, x1 y1, and some point Q, right, that is x2 y2, right, lie on the straight line. So let's make a general equation. So let's say this is my straight line, okay, and there are 2 points. What are the 2 points? The 2 points are P and the other point is Q. So if I have these 2 points lying on the straight line, okay, what can I do? I can write the general equation of a straight line. So do I need the slope? No, we don't require the slope in this case. Do I need the intercept? No, I don't require any intercept also in this case. Only with the knowledge of 2 points, and those 2 points should lie on the straight line, I can write the equation of the straight line. So first of all, we'll write what is the equation of the straight line. So the equation of a straight line is y minus y1 is equal to, okay, y2 minus, sorry, let's do one thing. Let's write it in a general case, is equal to m x minus x1. Yes, so if you look at this, what is this basically? What is this? This is a point slope form. No, this equation is of a point slope form. But now let's talk about the slope. Okay, so if we look at the slope m, right, what is slope first of all? So the slope is basically tan theta, no? The slope m is equal to tan theta, right? And what is tan theta basically? Can I say tan theta is perpendicular? So let's suppose if I have a triangle like this, right? If I have a triangle like this, and this is theta, right? And let's say this is delta y and this is delta x, right? So in that scenario, what can I say tan theta is? Tan theta is delta y upon delta x. And can I say this is equal to the slope, right? This is equal to slope m, correct? So here what I am doing, I am writing slope as tan theta and I am substituting the value of tan theta. And what is the value of tan theta? So tan theta will become delta y by delta x. Now there are two ways to write delta y, right? So what is delta y? I can say delta y is y2 minus y1, that is difference of y coordinate upon difference of x coordinate. Or I can also say, see, I can take a negative sign common, right? So if I take a negative sign, I will have y1 minus y2 upon, right? This will become x1 minus x2. Okay, so this is what tan theta is. So now what I'll do, I'll substitute the value of the slope in this equation. So the final equation of a 2-point form will become, right, that will become y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, yes, and x minus x1. Okay, so this is the general equation of a straight line in a 2-point form. Okay, or you can also say or you can say y minus y1 is equal to, now what is the value of m? I can say m is y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2, right, into x minus x1, right. So this is basically the general equation that I will have for my 2-point form. Okay, so you can use any one of them, right, you can use any one of them in your questions. Clear? Any questions, right? So now let's move forward. Okay, so now in this we'll write the equation of the line that passes through 2, 2 and 4, 4. Now, okay, so first of all let's talk, and he is also asking, does this line pass through the origin? Okay, so let's first solve this question. Okay, first part of the question, that I want to write the equation of a straight line that passes through 2, 2 and 4, 4. So let's first write the conditions that my line passes through P, and what is that point P? That point P is 2, 2, and it also passes through some point Q, and that value of that Q is equal to 4, 4. Okay, so I have these 2 points. Okay, now since my straight line passes through these 2 points, yes, what is the equation I'll use? I will use 2-point form. Okay, this is the equation I will use. I will use the 2-point form to write the equation of the straight line. So what is the 2-point form? The 2-point form is y minus y1. Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Okay, I am using the first equation. Okay, you can use the second part also, but I am using this one. Okay, you can use any of them. You can use any of them. I am using the first one. So let's substitute the values. So to substitute the values, right, what do I have? I have y minus, right. What is y1? So y1, if you check here, right, so let's say this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2, right. You can change also, it will not matter. So what is y1? Y1 is 2, is equal to, now what is y2 minus y1? So what is y2? Y2 is 4 minus what is y1? Y1 is 2, right. Y1 is 2 upon x2. X2 is 4, and what is x1? X1 is also 2, correct, into I will have x minus x1. So x minus, now what is x1 here? X1 is 2. Okay, so what do I have here? I have y minus 2 is equal to, now this will become 4 minus 2 and 2. So this will become 2 upon 2 into x minus 2. So what does this give me? This gives me y minus 2 is equal to, now 2 by 2 cancels, give me 1, and this will become x minus 2. So 2 cancels with this 2, and I have y equals to x. So this is the equation of a straight line. Okay, this is the equation of a straight line, y equals to x, correct. And in this, what do we have? We have the y coordinate equal to the x coordinate. That is the equation. And if we draw the straight line, okay, if we draw the straight line, what does this look like? So let's draw it. Okay, so we will get something like this, equation, a straight line, okay, that passes through the center. Okay, where if 1 is equal to 1, right, this 1 will be equal to 1, this 2 will be also equal to 2 here. Okay, correct, this minus 1 will be also equal to minus 1 here. For x minus 1, y is minus 1. Okay, what was the next part? It is passing that, does this line passes through the origin? Does this line pass through the origin? So to find if it passes through the origin, what we'll do? Okay, what is the origin? Origin O is equal to 0, 0. So let's put the value of x as, this is x and this should be y. So if you solve this, if you try to solve this, yes, y, what is the value of y when x is 0, right? y is also equal to 0. What I am doing, I am substituting the value of x, and when I substitute the value of x, what do I get? I get that for x equals to 0, y is also equal to 0. That means this O will lie on this straight line, right? Because it is satisfying this condition. Okay, if I ask you something like that, does this line pass through 1 comma 0, then what does that mean? That for 0, for y 0, for x1, y should be 0. So substitute the value of x1. If I substitute the value of x1, y is equal to 1, not equal to 0. That means this point does not lie on the straight line. Okay, so this is how you will be able to find that which point lies on the straight line, which doesn't, and how to use 2-point form. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. If you have any doubts, please write in the comment box or the chat section. Okay, we can discuss over it. Next question is, write the equation of the line. Write the equation of the line that passes or cuts the x-axis at 3 and the y-axis at 5. Does this line pass through 2 comma 1? Okay, so now what he is given? He is giving us that. Okay, let's draw this equation line first. So first of all, it cuts the x-axis at 3. So what is the x-axis? This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So it cuts the x-axis at 3. Okay, now second, and y-axis at 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my x-axis, right? This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, and my straight line cuts the y-axis at 5 and the x-axis at 3. So basically something like this. Okay, so my straight line will look something like this. So now what is the first thing? First thing is that, like, what is the value of this point? So if you look at this point, right, the point here, what is the value of x coordinate? X coordinate is equal to 3 and y coordinate is equal to 0. So let's say this is my point P. Correct? Now if I look at this point which lies on the y-axis, yes, the x coordinate will be 0 here, right? The x coordinate will be 0 here. And what is the y coordinate? Y coordinate is equal to 5. What is y coordinate? The distance it has to cover to in the y direction to come at this point. So this is my point Q. So I have my P and Q. So what do I have now? I have 2 points, right? Now I have the knowledge of 2 points which lie on the straight line. So what is the point? Point P is 3, 0, and point Q is 0, 5. Okay, so with the knowledge of 2 points which lie on the straight line, yes, we can solve the equation. How we can solve the equation? By using 2-point form. Okay, so if we use the 2-point form, what is the equation? Equation will be y minus y1, right, is equal to m x minus x1. Okay, and what is m? M is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, so this is the equation that I am going to use. So let's substitute the values here. So first of all, let's name this. What is this? This is x1, y1, x2, y2. So if I substitute the values here, what I'll get? I get y minus y1. What is y1? Y1 is 0 here. Is equal to, now what is y2? So what the value of y2 is 5 minus y1 is 0 upon, what is x2? X2 is 0 minus x1. What is x1? X1 is 3 into x minus, now what is x1, right? So x1 is again 3 here. So what do I get? Y is equal to minus 5 by 3. Y minus by 5 by 3, it will become 5 by minus 3 minus 5 by 3 into x minus 3. Okay, so what does this give me? This gives me 3y is equal to minus 5x plus, this will become 5 3s are 15. Okay, so what do I have? I have 3y plus 5x minus 15 is equal to 0. So this is the equation of the straight line. Okay, I have not written this in the general form. Okay, to write in the general form you can, okay, the general form will be from here. Okay, what is the general form? The general form is y is equal to minus 5 by 3x, okay, y equals to mx plus c. So this will become plus 5, okay, this will become plus 5, okay. So this is the general form of the straight line. Clear? So now let's move forward. So once I have this equation, what is the next question? Does this line pass through 2 comma 1? Okay, so how to find that if it passes through 2 comma 1? For input 2 I should get output 1. Okay, so let's give an input of 2. So for x equals to 2, what do I get? I get 3y plus 5 into 2 minus 15 is equal to 0. So I'll get 3y plus 10 minus 15 is equal to 0. I will get 3y is equal to 5. Correct? So I'll get y equals to 5 by 3. Yes, so the point which lies on the straight line is 2 comma, okay, so 2 comma 5 by 3, okay, 2 comma 5 by 3 will lie on this straight line and not 2 comma 1. So what can I say? 2 comma 1 does not lie on this straight line. Okay, so I'll say does not lie on straight line. Clear? So I can easily conclude from here, okay, that this is the general equation of the straight line, and the point 2 comma 1 does not lie on the straight line. Which point lie on the straight line? 2 for x equals to 2, the value of y equals to 5 by 3, 2 comma 5 by 3 lies on this straight line. Okay, clear? So these are the 4 general equations, okay, sorry, these are the 3 which we have done till now, and this is the 4th one which we will be doing, okay. So let's start with the 4th part. What is the 4th? 2 intercept form, okay. What we should have? We should have 2 intercept, okay. So what are the 2 intercepts a equation can have? So let's draw it. So let's say this is the straight line which I have, okay. What is this? This is known as my y intercept. And what is this? This is known as x intercept. Okay, so I have y intercept, I have x intercept, and let's say the value of y intercept is a. Let's say the value of y intercept is b, okay, and the value of x intercept is equal to a. Okay, so that means that if what is the y intercept? B, right? So this means that this value should be 0 comma b. Okay, think over it, that the y coordinate is b, right, because the length is b, and the x coordinate should be 0 because it is lying on the y axis. Similarly, if you think what this point should be, this point should be, right, x coordinate is a, y coordinate should be 0 because it is lying on the x axis. So right, what do I have? I have the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So basically I have 2 points. What are the 2 points? P. What is P? Let's say P is 0 comma b. And what is Q? Q is the second coordinate, that is a comma 0. So what can I do? I can use the 2-point form, and what is that? Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Okay, so this is the general equation of the 2-point form. So let's substitute the values here. Okay, so once again, to substitute the values, I'll say that this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So let's substitute the values. I will have y minus y1. What is y1? Y1 is b, is equal to, what is y2? Y2 is 0 minus y1. What is y1? Y1 is b upon x2. What is x2? X2 is a minus, what is x1? X1 is 0 into x minus x1, and again x1 is 0 here. Okay, so what do I get? I get y minus b is equal to minus b by a into x. Okay, so once I have this, right, I can take this here, and what do I get? I get b by ax plus y is equal to b. Okay, and if I divide the whole equation by b, so what do I get? X by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the general equation of a straight line if both the intercepts are given to me. Okay, the a intercept and the b intercept, here both the intercept are given to me, and if both the intercepts are given to me, the general equation of the straight line is given by x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Clear? Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Let's move forward with the next part. So let's solve this question. Okay, so in this question it is given, write the equation of the line that cuts the x-axis at 3 and y-axis at 5. Okay, so if you look at this question, okay, if you look at this question is same as this question, no, that it cuts the x-axis at 3 and y-axis at 5, right? Same question. So let's draw it again. If I draw it again, what do I see? Yes, what does the straight line look like? The straight line will look like something like this, right? Where it cuts the x-axis at 3, so this will become 3, 0, and y-axis at 0, 5. So what is this length? This length will be equal to 5, and what is this length? This length will be equal to 3. Okay, so I have the x intercept, I have the y intercept, and since I have the x intercept and the y intercept, what is the formula I will use? 2 intercept form, that is x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. So let's use this. X by a plus y by b is equal to 1. So what is x? This. What is a? A is the x intercept, that is 3, plus y by b. What is b? B is equal to 5 is equal to 1. Right? So what do I get? I get 5x plus 3y is equal to 15. Okay, so this is the general equation of the straight line, right? What do I get? Look here, 5x plus 3y minus 15 equals to 0. Okay, if I put this here, this will become 5x plus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0. Okay, so if you look that the same question can be solved using two different concepts. Okay, using two different equations, finally we'll get the same answer. Okay, we'll get the same answer here. The only difference here is that here we are using 2-point form, sorry, 2 intercept form, there we were using 2-point form. Okay, so it doesn't make a difference which type of equation you are using. Okay, the only thing is that you should be able to correctly substitute the values here. Okay, whatever formula you are using, okay, please try to, when you give the input, okay, here what the input is given, the input is given as intercepts, that is the a intercept and the b intercept, right? This is my a intercept, right, x intercept, this is my y intercept. But in this 2-point form, right, in this 2-point form, what do I need? I need the x coordinate, right? I need a point P that lies on the straight line. I need a point Q, x2, y2, which lies on the straight line. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Let's move with the next part. Okay, so now we'll move on to, so the equations are over. Okay, now, so what are the 4 equations that we have done? So let's summarize it here. So the first equation that we did is slope intercept form. And what is the slope intercept form? Slope intercept form is y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, next, what is the second thing? Second thing which we did was point slope form. We need a point and we need a slope. So what is the point slope form? Y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. Third, what is the third thing we did? 2-point form. Okay, so 2-point form, what do we need? As the name suggests, we need 2 points. And what are the 2 points? The 2 points are y minus y1 is equal to m. So now what is the m here? So m is the slope. So we will substitute the value of slope, that is y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2 into x minus x1. Just 1 minute. Okay, and finally what do we have? The final we had was 2 intercept. And what is the 2 intercept? The 2 intercept will become y by b plus x by a is equal to 1. Okay, so this is what we have done till now. This is the summary of what we have done till now. Let's move forward. So now we'll move on to the parallel lines. So what are parallel lines? Okay, this is parallel lines, right? So what is the property of a parallel line? Okay, the property of a parallel line is that the distance between the any two points, right? Not any 2 points actually, the points which are perpendicular to each other. No. So basically, if this is a point, this is a point, and this is the point, and if I join them using a line, right? This is distance d. Let's say this is 90 degree and this angle should also be 90 degrees. So this distance d will remain d here. Okay, it will not change. Okay, so the distance between the straight line, okay, two straight line remains the same. Okay, this is known as parallel lines. So now if you try to draw in this scenario, right, what do you see? Right, the thing you should observe is that if I extend the straight line here and if I extend this here, yes, what do you see? That this angle theta and this angle theta are same. What does that mean? That means for parallel lines the most important thing is slope is same. Okay, so for two straight line, yes, I can say that this is, let's say this is line 1, line 2. If there are two lines, the slope is same, that when m1 equals to m2, or I can say tan theta 1 is equal to tan theta 2, that means theta 1 is equal to theta 2. So the angle that they make, okay, the angle that they make with the x-axis is same, that is theta 1 is equal to theta 2, okay, and that is equal to theta. Clear? So this concept we'll be using for parallel lines. So let's try to solve this question. What is given? That write down the equation of a straight line that is parallel to x minus y equals to 2 and passing through. So it is parallel to this straight line, right? So what is given? X minus y equals to 2. So the general form for this will become x minus 2 is equal to y, or I can say y equals to x minus 2. So for this equation, what is the slope? The slope m is equal to 1, right? Now let's talk about the another line. So there are two lines, no? Line 1, line 2. This is my line 1, this is my line 2. Okay, so what is the line 1? This is the line 1 which I am talking about, right? This is my line 1. So this line 1 and I have line 2. What is the line 2? Line 2 is the line for which I have to write down the equation, right? So let's write the general equation. The general equation for line 2 can be given as y equals to mx plus c. And what is the condition given for line 2? The conditions that are given for line 2 is that is parallel to x minus y equals to. So what is this? This is my line 1. So if line 1 and line 2 are parallel, yes, line 1 and line 2 are parallel, what can I say? The slope m1 and the slope m2, right? So m1 is equal to 1. So what is m2? So m2 should be equal to m1 because they both are parallel. That means the slope for this m2, yes, what this slope should be? The slope should be also equal to 1. So now I know that the slope for both the straight lines are same, right? So let's just substitute the value. So I'll say y equals to m2. What is m2? m2 is also equal to 1 into x plus c. Okay. Now what is the another condition? Okay, so we now know the value of m, but I don't know the value of c, right? So to calculate the c, we'll use the second information. That what is the second information? It passes through 2, 3. Means that this L2 passes through a point P, that is 2, 3. So if this point P lies on the straight line L2, right, that equation should satisfy this. So I'll just substitute the values. So for y equals to 3 and x equals to 2, right, what do I get? 3 equals to 2 plus c, and I'll get c is equal to 1. So now I have the value of m and I also have the value of c. So just substitute the values again in my general equation. So what do I get? L2 is equal to y is equal to m. What is m2? m2 is 1 into x plus c. What is c? c is also equal to 1. So this is my general equation of the straight line. Clear? So I hope this is easy and understandable, right? There is no hi-fi logic here. The only condition that we are using is that, first condition is that both the straight lines which I have are parallel to each other, right? First condition. And the second condition that we are using is that this point 2, 3. Okay, the point 2, 3 is lying on this straight line. So it should satisfy this straight line. So through that we can get the second variable, that is c, y-intercept. Okay, so I hope this question is clear. Let's move to the next part. Perpendicular lines. Okay, so now we have done parallel lines. Now we'll move on to the perpendicular lines. So what are perpendicular lines? So for line 1, let's say this is my line 1 and this is my line 2. So two lines are said to be perpendicular when the angle between them is 90 degrees. When the angle between them is 90 degrees. So let's say if my m1 is equal to tan theta, let's say if my m1 is equal to tan theta, what should m2 be equal to? m2 will be equal to tan of theta plus 90. Why tan theta plus 90? Because if this is making angle theta, this will become theta plus 90, no? Correct? Because 90 degree is more. Okay, so now what is tan 90 plus theta? What is tan 90 plus theta? So if I want to find the value of tan 90 plus theta, right, I should go in the 4 quadrants, and where will 90 plus theta lie? So 90 plus theta will lie somewhere here. So this is 90 plus theta, and in this quadrant, right, what is tan? So what is the value of tan? The value of tan in this quadrant is negative, no, because all silver tea cups, no. So here only sine and 1 upon sine is positive. So what is tan? Tan is negative. So I'll substitute the value of tan as negative. And what is this? 90 plus theta, no. So I am moving from a vertical angle, no. So vertical angle, so 90 plus theta will become cot theta, no, cot theta. Okay, this concept I have done in the trigonometry part. Okay, I think the lecture number 4 of this transition course. Clear? So please go back to the trigonometry part, okay, 4th lecture, and there you will get, okay, this concept. So I have the value of m2 as well. So I have m1. What is m1? m1 is equal to tan theta. What is m2? m2 is equal to minus cot theta. And what can I write minus cot theta? I can write minus cot theta. Just 1 minute. Right? So what can I write this as? I can write minus 1 upon tan theta. Right? And I know what is the value of tan theta, no? Tan theta is equal to m1. So I'll substitute the value of tan theta here. Right? So what do I get? m2 is equal to minus upon m1. So what do I get from here? I get m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Okay, and this is a very important condition. So what can I say? For two perpendicular lines with slope m1 and m2, right, the condition is m1 into m2 is equal to -1. That is the product of the slopes of the two straight line gives me -1. Okay, and this concept is also important. So for slope, if there are two lines which are parallel, slopes are equal. If there are two lines which are perpendicular, the product of the slope will be equal to -1. So this is what you should remember. So let's solve a question. So what do I have here? It is given that write down the equation of the line that is perpendicular to 3x minus y equals to 1 and passes through. So I have a line 1, I have a line 2. Let's say this is my line 1 and this is line 2. So write down the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this line. So what is this? Let's say this is my line 1 and I want to write down the equation of a line, right, L2, right, that is perpendicular. So L1 and L2 both are perpendicular. And what is the equation of L1? L1 is equal to 3x minus y equals to 1, or I can say this will become L1 will be equal to (3x minus 1 is equal to y). So in this case, what do I get? Y equals to 3x minus 1. So what do I get? M is equal to 3. M is equal to 3 and C is equal to -1. So I have the slope and the intercept both. So since I have the slope, right, what is this L1? So I can say the M1 is equal to 3. For line L1, the slope is equal to M1 and C1 is the intercept. So M1 is equal to 3. So what is the so let's write the second equation. No, for the second line L2, yes, what is the general equation? Y is equal to M2x plus C2. Why M2 and C2? Because it is my line L2 which I am talking about. So since both of them are perpendicular, since M1 is perpendicular, since L1 is perpendicular to L2, I can say M1 into M2 is equal to -1. And what is M1? M1 is equal to 3. M2 is equal to -1. So M2 will be equal to -1 by 3. So this is the value of the slope of the line 2. I know the value of the slope, so let's substitute in the equation. So if I substitute in this, right, if I substitute in this, what do I get? I get L2 will be equal to y is equal to M2, that is -1 by 3x plus c. So I have the value of slope here, but do I know the value of c? No, I don't have the value of c, right? So to find the value of c, that is the intercept, I will use the last part. What is the last condition that is given? It passes through 0, 9. So since this 0, 9 passes through this, okay, this is the point P, 0, 9, which lies on the straight line. So I will substitute the value. So for x equals to 0 and y equals to 9, yes, y equals to 9 and x is equal to 0, what do I get? 9 equals to c. So I get the value of intercept as 9. So once I have the value of intercept, I will again substitute this value of intercept in the straight line, right, and I will get the value of c2. Yes, so what is the equation I will get? I will get equation as y is equal to m, that is -1 by 3 x plus c, and what is c? C is equal to 9. So this is my final answer which I have. Okay, so this is the equation of the straight line that is perpendicular to L1, that is this line, and passes through 0, 9. Clear? So what is the condition I have used? The condition here I have used is that m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Okay, and this is very easy, that 0, 9 lies on the straight line, so I just plug the values inside and I'll get the value of intercept. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Okay, I also have one more question for you. Okay, you please try to solve this question. This is a homework question for you. This is very easy, and please try to solve this. This is a similar type of question. Okay, so so now let's end the session here. Okay, I have completed the straight lines part. Okay, we have completed the straight line. Okay, so let's recap what we have done till now. We have covered functions. Okay, I have taken 2 lectures for functions. Then trigonometry, right? I have taken 2 lectures for trigonometry, and now we have covered the straight lines part. Okay, so 6 lectures have completed till now, have been completed till now. So now next we most probably will start with differentiation, but I want you to please, okay, first of all join the Telegram channel. Okay, join the Telegram channel so that you can get the latest updates, and we have been, right, we upload there questions for you to practice. So please join a Telegram group, and also please scan this QR code. Okay, there will be a Google form, and in that Google form you can post your doubts, whatever questions you have, so that we can talk to you if you have any doubts. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the session, and let's meet tomorrow with a new session. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a